right, we're talking about Goal setting 101, and the title is Achieve What You Want, but let's do it faster. Achieve what you want faster. So I'm going to show you some practical things on how to get what you want. And when you set goals, you have to set them on purpose with purpose. So many people will have these goals and they never get it done because they don't know how to set them. Without a clear target, you're not going to hit it. You're going to be like that archer, the archer that shoots arrows. You're going to be like, have no targets. You're like, I hope this hits something. And some people have a target, but it's not very clear and it looks far away. It's like, man, I don't know if I can hit that. So it doesn't even create this excitement, this hope for you. It doesn't create this passion, this motivation, because it's like, my motive is not clear. My motivation is not clear. Okay, if I hit this target, what do I get? So I'm not very motivated to really aim and really keep trying to hit that target, because what am I going to get from this? So there's a lot of different reasons why people don't achieve what they want to get, because most people, they set goals and they never achieve them. Actually, 93%, especially, we're in the beginning of the new year, 93% of people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions. Why? Because their goals are not clear. They're vague. They're not planned. They're not set out and broken up into pieces, into steps. There's no blueprint of how to get there. There's no pathway. Right? And also lack of accountability. So they have an idea here, but they don't share it. They don't write it down. They don't tell it to a coach or tell it to, their boss or somebody. That they're not being held accountable to get it done. There's no healthy pressure there. There's no healthy support there, and they give up. They don't get it done. So a lot of people, they get excited about things. Yes, I want to do it, but because they don't know how to set their goals correctly, they don't achieve it. So without clear direction, what happens? You're just going to get stuck in spinning your wheels. You ever felt that way? Where you're trying, you're working hard. Doesn't mean you're lazy. I see so many good people who are freaking hard workers. They're working hard, but they're not getting the results that they want. They're not succeeding. They're still struggling. Why? Because they're putting their energy, but they're not putting their energy into the right place. They're not being strategic. Why? Because they don't have those clear goals that are set for themselves. So we're going to learn how to do that today. This training is going to show you how to be clear in setting your goals, where you're going to have actionable steps, and you're going to be able to break them into manageable things where you can manage them and measure them by tracking your progress so that you can stay motivated. Right? So with the right framework, you're going to be able to do this. With the right framework, you're going to be able to achieve what you want, but be able to do it faster. That's the goal here, okay? So 3 main things I'm going to be giving you here, 3 main points, and make sure you write each one of them down. I'm going to share some practical, simple things on how to achieve each of those main 3 things. And then I'm going to give you some actions, some role plays, some examples of what you need to do with it. So that way you're not just learning it, you're actually practicing it to make it happen, all right? So number 1, first main point, write it down. Write it down. Again, I'm going to make this simple. And this is common sense stuff. I know that. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of this, but are you doing it? Because most of the time, common sense is not common practice. You heard that, right? Common sense is not common practice. So I'm going to give you some things that are common sense, that you've heard it before, that you've learned it before, but you're not doing it. And if you have done it before, you're not doing it consistently, which is why you're not achieving consistently. Because again, it's not about you giving your best efforts. You trying your best. I'm trying my best. That's not what it's about. You don't get rewarded for just trying. You don't get rewarded for your effort. You get rewarded for your results. And that's what this is going to help you to get. But you have to apply it. Okay? So this is the problem. Goals are left in your head, and that's just being a dream. When goals are just left in your head, that's just staying a dream. They're not plans. Those are not real goals. This is the dream. And your dreams are only good when you're sleeping, right? That you got to wake up and not just have them in your head. You have to get a piece of pen, get a paper, get on your whiteboard, get on something and begin to write it out and make it very specific. Okay, so again, goals in your head remain dreams. You have to be able to put this down and document it. So here's some practical tips and frameworks to be able to document it and write it down. So this is one that I'm sure you've heard many times. It's called the SMART framework. Now, before you get into the SMART framework, which means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's what the SMART stands for. SMART goals. A SMART framework means that it's very specific, that it's measurable. You can measure it. There's metrics that are attached to it. It's achievable. It's something that you can achieve. It's something that's relevant, that's going to help you to get where you want to go, that of what you're doing. It's not just this random goal. And it's also time bound. So you have some timelines and deadlines attached to the goal. Now, before you start with that, I want you to first really dream big, though. Dreaming big is not bad. Now, if you just dream big and keep it in your head, that's where it just remains a dream. But I want you to think big first. Kind of turn on the think. Turn on that think first and think, okay, what do I want to achieve in my department? What do I want to achieve in my career? What do I want to achieve in this project? What do I want to achieve in my pocket, in my bank account, my finances, right? What do you want to achieve? And when you start there, think big. Think of something you've never done before that's going to challenge you to become someone that you haven't become before. Now, even if it's tied to a money goal, it's not about the money. It's about who you need to become to be able to generate that type of money in that time frame, right? So it's much more than that. So think big first. And even if it's bigger than what you can do alone, that's okay. Because a lot of times we think like, well, how am I going to do that? And of course, you've never been there. You've never done that before. So if you're asking only yourself, how am I going to do that? It's going to feel overwhelming. It's going to create stress. It's like, well, because I don't know how to do that. I've never been there, never done that. Don't worry about that right now. Just dream big, because as you start to dream big, you're not just going to think, how am I going to do that? Which is the SMART goals, which is good. You're also going to think, who is going to help me to do this? Instead of just thinking, how am I going to do this? It's, okay, who can help me to do this? Who can help me to learn my skills? Who can maybe use their skills to help me in this project, right? Who can I recruit? Who can I hire? Who can I bring into this so I can accelerate and speed it up? Who can I learn from this? Who can I get coached from this? Who can I get training from this? So that way I can know how to do it. Because right now, by myself, that seems too big. But hey, you're not alone. Okay, so first dream big. Get a big goal out there first. Whatever it is, get your big goal. And then you come here and start to use the SMART framework. Okay, now I need to be more specific. Okay, I need to be able to be measured. It needs to be achievable. It needs to be relevant. It needs to be time bound. Yeah, so here's an example. Also, when you write your goals down, you want it to be present tense. I generate $10,000 a month of revenue, and I'm going to do it by December 31st. Okay, I'm going to do it by February. I'm going to do it by the end of March, whatever. So write down your goals in present tense and then have some kind of timelines on there. Okay. Another thing is visualize your success. Add images. This is, people use the vision boards. I know we're going to have in our office here, there's going to be an event where we're going to be bringing people in who are going to be paying for this event to do a smart board, a vision board, where we have all these different images. We're going to put it on a big board. We're going to tape them on there. They're all going to represent things that they want to achieve this year for 2025, right? So whether it's a vision board or you just document it, I know for myself, visuals do help because our brains do work in images. So when you can have something to see, and that thing that you're seeing is tied to pleasure that it's going to bring to you, it really motivates you. And you put it somewhere where you're going to see it all the time, it really motivates you. For me, I have notes in my phone, and I'm looking at that throughout the day. I have on my whiteboard that's behind this computer right now, I have goals that are set on there, so that way I'm always seeing it. I can always see, and I have it broken down. Like I have the big goal broken down into 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. And then I have those weeks broken down. And then I have the days broken down. I have revenue goals. I have activity goals. I have people goals. Did you hear that? Write those down. I have revenue goals. I have activity goals. Okay, to hit this revenue, you start off with the year divided by 12. Okay, every month I need to do this divided by 4. So every week I need to do this divided by how many days I'm going to work. So that means every day this is my goal. Right? Okay, what are the activity goals that I need to do to make sure I'm hitting that every day? Whether it's phone calls, events, follow-ups, emails, text messages, trainings, whatever activity things that I need to do to make sure I hit my daily goal, I need to have that written down. Okay, here are my activity goals. Now, do I need more people? Do I need to hire? Do I need to recruit? Do I need to get training myself? Those are my people goals. That's going to help me to accelerate these two things. You guys following? So you need to have these things written down for you. So, and then you have some visualizations, some images, some affirmations that you can have to help you to stay focused, to stay encouraged, to stay motivated when it comes to accomplishing these goals. Now, here's an example of being more specific. Okay. So instead of saying, a lot of people want to lose weight right now because it's the new year. I want to lose weight. Yes, I'm going to lose weight this year. No, you have to not, instead of just saying that, you have to write it down, right? And write something very specific that I will lose, present tense, I will lose, now I want to lose, or I will lose 10 pounds by exercising 4 days a week for the next 3 months. That's more specific. That's more step by step as well, right? And it's more measured. There's deadlines on there. It's relevant. It's achievable. I will lose 10 pounds by exercising 4 days a week and for the next 3 months. That's a little bit more specific. So again, number one, write it down, document it. And when you write it down, you can put images on there as well. And make sure that it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, it's time-bound, but think big. And start thinking of those revenue goals, start thinking of your activity goals, and start thinking of those people goals. Let's get to the next step now. So now, speaking of steps, you have that big goal, okay? You broke it down. Now you need to break it down into like real practical steps, okay? So that big goal can feel overwhelming. I'm sure you've heard it said, like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Right? So big goals can feel overwhelming and lead to procrastination. Now, you procrastinate and you hesitate because you don't have clarity. So yes, have those big goals and those big targets, but you need to break them down into very simple steps that you can start to make. And this gives you that roadmap, those milestones, right? Where you break it down, like I was sharing with you, that 12 months, okay, into a month, into a week, into a day, into daily steps that I need to make since the morning. So now I need to know from what I need to do from 7 to 12 and 12 to 3 and 3 to 7, right? Like you break it down to where there's no excuse for you not to get it done. That's what you need to do. So these are the practical steps you need to make. Assign deadlines to each of those steps to make yourself accountable. So now that you have your big things, you need to break it down, right? Like I just said. Now you assign deadlines to each of those steps to keep yourself accountable. Then you just focus on one step at a time. That way you don't get overwhelmed, start hesitating, start procrastinating. Oh, it's already been a week. I'm just not going to do it anymore because I've already fell behind. No. How do you get to where you want to go? It's something called FOFTA, right? First one foot, then the other. FOFTTA, FOFTA. First one foot, then the other. Or FOFTA with the O at the end, not an A. FOFTA. Okay, so focus on one step at a time. You have those big goals, yes, boom, and you broke them all down. You have your daily steps, and now you start to just take one step at a time. So one step at a time. And here's an example. Like if you're gonna launch a website, you want to build a website, you want to launch it, and you want to do it in a month. Okay, so you break it down. Okay, the first week, I'm going to research and plan. Second week, I'm going to create and do all my design, so it's all done. Third week, I'm going to launch and market it. Fourth week, I'm going to look at the metrics and start to make some adjustments according to those metrics, right? And that leads us to number 3, where you need to track your progress. This goes back to your metrics. Because if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. And if you don't manage it, you can't grow it. And if you're not going to grow it, why are you even doing it, right? If it's not growing, it's either dead or it's dying. So the whole point is to grow and to get the results. And in order to get that growth, you need to measure it. You need to be able to manage it and measure it. So that goes to number 3. We need to track your progress. So the problem, without tracking, you're going to lose your motivation. You're going to lose focus because you can't manage it and you can't grow it. So you're going to lose like the track, the blueprint of where you're going because you're not measuring. You're not going to be able to make those adjustments when needed. And you're just going to start to lose your focus and lose your momentum, lose your motivation. So measure, measure, measure. And you have to know what you're measuring here, right? And there's different tools that you can use for this, but make sure you measure, especially your wins. Even if it's just 1 foot, 2 feet that you made 2 steps today, you had, out of the 5 things that you had to do today, you got 3 done. Hey, celebrate it. Celebrate your daily wins. This helps you to stay motivated and stay on track. Here's some practical tips for you. Use a habit tracker. There's apps that will help you to do this. I have something called the Life Mastery Digital Planner. If you're interested in that, please message me. Let us know. If you're a part of our team, let us know. We can give you access to it. But it helps you to track. It's a journal. It's a calendar. right? A calendar for the month, it's a calendar for the week, it's a calendar for the day. You also have different things that you're tracking on, different behaviors that you should be doing. You can track yourself. You can even pull up reports at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month to show you where you need to make your adjustments. There's even trainings that are attached to these different things that you're doing that you want to get better in. There's trainings that will help you to speed up the process. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. We can give you that, right? Now, here's an example of some things that you can do. So yes, use some kind of habit tracker. You can use a journal, right, to record your progress. Celebrate those small wins because, again, this helps you to build your momentum. And then as you're going and as you're tracking, you can make the adjustments of your steps. That way to make sure that you are putting your energy and your time in the right places. Because sometimes you have your goals, you have everything going, right, which is fine. You're going and putting in the work. You start to measure and you start to see some things aren't working that good, which is okay. Because you're measuring, you can manage it faster. You can make some adjustments quicker. So you're not just going down the wrong path for a long time and wasting a lot of time and energy. This is why it's important for you to measure. So here's an example of something that you can do just to track and encourage yourself with the wins, right? Say you have a goal to save $5,000. Make it very simple. So you track each week's deposits, and then you celebrate a milestone. Like let's say you have $1,000 saved. Awesome. Celebrate it. Don't go celebrate it by spending all that money, but celebrate it, right? Give yourself a pat on the back, something, but you need to have something where you are tracking and you're able to celebrate those wins. So here's an exercise for you to do when it comes to goal setting 101. Set and share your goals. This is the exercise. Set and share your goals. So number one, write out a professional goal that you have for yourself. One personal and one professional. And then using the SMART framework, I want you to break it down. So is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it realistic or is it relevant? And is it time bound? Okay, so something personal and something professional, and then put it through the SMART framework, right? Number two, break down each goal into actionable steps that have deadlines attached to it. So when it comes to your personal goal, again, if you're going to lose weight, I'm going to be losing this much weight in this much time, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be eating this way. I'm going to have this many workouts. This is how I'm going to do it. Actionable steps. If you're going to be making more money, I'm going to be making, instead of 3,000, I'm going to make 5,000 this month or this week, right? Whatever that goal is for you. You start to break it up into actionable steps with deadlines on there. Number three, share your goals and the steps with the group so that way you can get feedback and accountability. Sometimes we write it out, we share it with somebody, and they're like, well, it's not very clear. Or actually, you can do it faster than that. Or actually, you don't have any timelines or deadlines attached to it. And we think we had a clear goal, but once we share it, we're like, oh yeah, I don't. And you make your adjustments, okay? So write out a personal goal, professional goal, put it through the framework of the SMART framework, right? And then you break it down, each goal, into actionable steps with deadlines, and then you're going to share it with the group so you can get feedback and accountability. So here's a summary of goal setting 101. Clear, specific goals that are backed by action plans and consistent tracking are the key to your success. Again, clear, specific goals that are backed by action plans and consistent tracking are the key to success. So write them down, break them into steps, put them into some way that you can measure the progress, and that way you can turn these dreams, these goals into something that is real and is benefiting your life. These are the strategies that are going to work. Now, here's your call to actions here. Write one personal, professional goal down, write it down, break them into those steps with the deadlines, track your progress, share these goals with your group, with the partner. That way you can get the feedback and stay accountable. So let's get to work, get into your groups, get into your pairs, break them down for yourself and share them, and let's get it done. It's not just about talking about it, it's about doing it. Let's go.